guys, I'm here with Rocky Carroll from NCIS. Over 150 episodes, man.
Indeed.
How have you stayed in the industry and stayed successful for so long? I know some people get on these shows and their character gets killed off immediately.
Yeah.
What would you say attributes to your success?
Well, if I knew exactly what it was, I'd bottle it and sell it. And I would probably retire from acting because I just make money selling that secret. But I tell everybody, I said, the same thing in our business applies to any other business. Whether you're working in show business, Wall Street, or or you're selling cars. It's you show up on time, you do a good job, you work well with people, and when you solve problems with an intent, with a positive attitude. In our business, you're only as good as your reputation.
Right.
So if your reputation is negative, your career probably will be cut short by about 10 years.
It's definitely word of mouth out here.
Yeah.
Now, what is it like working on a procedural show? Does it ever get old?
Well, it's to keep things fresh, especially on our show now. I've been on the show 7 seasons.
Right.
The show's actually been on the air for 12 seasons. I think sometimes the writers tell the same story more than once. Sometimes they tell the same story 7 times.
Right.
They just use it a different character. Sometimes this character had that problem. Now 3 years later, it's this character with the same problem. But sometimes when you're in the midst of it, it seems like it can get kind of repetitive, but it's such a fleeting business. In our business, you don't work the same job until you're 65.
Right.
And if you're on a hit series, eventually it comes to an end, and then once it stops, you realize, wow, that was such a small time capsule in your life. We have so much fun doing the show. We have such a great time, and we enjoy each other's company. I think that lends to it, and we know how rare it is. It's like every other person walking down the street. If you ask them right now, would you trade your life to be on a television series, regardless of what they did? They'd probably say, sure. Yeah. So I keep that in mind.
So I know every actor, every person who's chasing a creative dream goes through that rough time, the lowest point of their career. When you went through whatever that moment was, how did you keep yourself motivated? Because some people just give up and try to go to some other career. What really kept you going?
Well, I think I always had a sense that this was ultimately what I wanted to do. It was almost like a calling for me, and I didn't just hop on a bus one day and said I'm going to go to California, and see if I can make it work. I approached it the same way somebody who wants to be a dentist. I studied it. I graduated from university. I got a degree in it. So I felt like, even though it doesn't always equal success, I felt like I was coming to the table with something, that I was working and developing a craft. And I tell people that all the time. I says, the advantage, if you can call it such a thing, that you may have on people is there are a lot of very talented people, but they don't have any technique, they don't have any training. Somebody just tapped them on the shoulder and said, you need to go to Hollywood. Right. Fortunately for me, Hollywood was kind of later on in my life, after college, after working in the theater and after sort of learning the craft of acting. So, when it comes, it comes. The great thing about our business is, unlike being an athlete, you can't be 45 years old and say, I think I'm going to try out for the Yankees today. But you can be 45 years old or 65 years old and start your career in show business, and that's the big difference.
Now, he's a talented actor, but you're here for the Celebrity Bowling Challenge, Bill Finney, sickle cell anemia. Why is this important to you?
Well, it's important to me because one of the first friendships I ever established here in Los Angeles was with Kiki Shepard. This is something that she's been a part of. I've been a supporter of it for a number of years, and like I tell people all the time, I think sometimes there's a misconception about people in show business. Everybody's out for themselves. Nobody really is friends. Everybody's kind of cutthroat. They'll stab you in the back the minute you turn around, but a lot of us are friends, and a lot of us have come up together. A lot of us have shared in each other's successes and missteps. But I've known her long enough for so many years, and this is something that she is so personally connected to, and that's enough for me. So I always tell her, if you need me, I'm there. And to me, that's what friends are supposed to do.
It's so cool. I love when people still support their friends years after years after years. Yeah. So great meeting you, man.
Thank you very much.
Congrats on NCIS, and can't wait to see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.